Hello, my name is Dave Fisher. I'm the moderator for Group 6, and I wanted to tell you about some different tools you can use. So in this class, we're doing Python, but instead of using like regular .py files, which are just for code, we're using these Python notebooks. And of course, to get better at this, we're using Python Anywhere, which does a really good job of using Python notebooks, right? So you can use not just Python files, but Python notebooks. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this ipynb file notebook. You can kind of have like text, and then you can have code, and then you can see the output of it, right? So this is an old student project, which they've now fixed up. So to edit Python notebooks, Python Anywhere is a great tool. And then what we're doing starting in week 2 and beyond is we're using this with Gitlab. Now there's a really good video. I just want to make sure that everybody's watched it on Python week 1. It's this one right here. So it's this Python Anywhere with Gitlab. So you can play this video. You may have to hit this next arrow when it gets to the end of the first slide. But it was, of course, the official video is there, and it shows you how to use Python Anywhere with Gitlab. By the way, we're teaching you Git because that's how software developers work, right? It's not just a tool to make it easier to like share files. We're teaching it to you because it's important for software engineers to learn about Git. So Python Anywhere and Git is a great system, but I want to tell you about an alternative. So the things that I don't like about it is, so it is all web-based. And it uses the command line. I actually personally like to do things locally on my computer. I find that it's just a little bit faster. And then also, I don't really love the Git command line. So I'm going to show you 2 programs that work differently that you can use as an alternative to Python Anywhere if you want. So this whole video is completely optional, just showing you how they work differently. By the way, the downside is if you do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to have some really big file downloads. Like I think Anaconda is like gigabytes, right? So that's the downside, is you're installing big things on your computer. But I think it makes for a better working environment. So there's 2 programs that we're going to download. One of them is called Anaconda. So if you do a Google search for Anaconda download, you'll find Anaconda. Anaconda is a big like suite of tools. One of those tools is Jupyter Notebooks, and so what I recommend you do is that you download the Python 3.6 version of Anaconda. That's the big download, and what that'll let you do is that'll let you edit Python notebooks locally on your computer, to where you don't need the internet for anything, and things kind of run faster if you're local on your computer. So that's the first thing that you're going to need to install. Once you get it installed, there'll be a program there called Anaconda Navigator. And Anaconda Navigator will show you kind of the suite of tools that come with it. So you can see it comes with the Jupyter Labs, Jupyter Notebooks, which is the one and only thing I care about, and then some other tools in the suite. From there, once you've got it installed, you can launch the Jupyter Notebook. It does some crazy things, by the way. It actually starts a little like local server on your computer, and then it opens in Chrome, which is kind of neat. And now at this point you can navigate all the files on your computer from Chrome, but you can see it says localhost, so it's all local to your computer. So with that, you have a way to edit Python notebook files, so those ipynbs local on your computer. That's step 1. Step number 2 is, how do we do the Git work? Like, how do we use Git to get things? And there's a number of different ways that you can use Git. The one that I'm going to teach you today is a program called Github Download. So there's pros and cons of this program. So here it is. It's called Github Desktop. And so it's a program that you can download. So obviously I'm on a Mac right now. So you'll download it for your operating system, probably either Windows or Mac. And then once you open that, it'll kind of look like this. So pros and cons of this program. So this program is specifically made by a company called GitHub. GitHub, in a way, is kind of a competitor with GitLab, so they're kind of competitors. But it turns out that the GitHub desktop program can be used with other Git sites. So it'll be a little confusing because we're not using GitHub, we're using Gitlab, which is a competitor of GitHub, but I'm using the Github Desktop program. So once you've got it open, it'll look like this. Cool, so now what we want to do is we want to navigate to GitLab. So I'm kind of already there, but I'll start at the beginning just so you can kind of see it from the ground up. So if you go to GitLab, you'll find your group in the appropriate week. So I'm going to do a demo for group 6, week 2. And what you need from this website is you need this URL. You can click in here and you can copy it, but there's also a button right here. You can just click copy URL to clipboard. So now I've got, I know the location of the place in the cloud where everything is saved. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to GitHub Desktop and I'm going to tell it that. And so now you need to say file clone repository. It's just off the screen in my recording. I apologize for that. But I'm clicking on file clone repository. There's a couple different ways you can clone repositories. Oops, I closed it out on accident. You can get them from github.com, an enterprise account also with github.com, or you can just put in any random URL. And this is exactly what we want to paste in right here. So this is the place in the cloud, so it's saved in Gitlab, into this group, and then that's the name of the repository. And then from there, you can just choose where on your computer would you like it to go. You can organize things on your computer, however you want. I'll just say like GitLab, and I'll just call it like video demo. And so I'm just going to put it into this folder. So I've got my video demo, and you'll notice it's going to also make a folder called week 2. So like this folder name is probably like on your computer the name of the class or something like that. So I hit clone. And it downloads it for me. Now I've got that empty project on my computer, which is great. The first thing you want to do is you want to make a branch for your username. So if you click on this down arrow, you can make a new branch. I'm going to say David Fisher Video, and I'm going to say create new branch. Do I want to create a branch? Yes, I want to create a branch. And so it creates a branch, and it brings me over to it. Now, if you've watched the official videos, oops, looks like I closed that tab, it does it all from the command line. The command line is great, but what we just did was like a number of different commands. Like we did a git clone, we did a git branch, we did checkout, and we did it all with just pushing buttons, which is kind of fun, right? Now we've got the code, we've got the branch. And now what we're going to do, copy there, is edit the file. So you've got to like find the file on your computer wherever you decided to save it. So I've got to find mine. Here's my video demo file, and you'll notice inside here is the week 2, and then here's the Python notebook that's right here. And what you can do is you can do things like change it. So I'll just say David Fisher. I don't really feel like putting in my real ID. I'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that you could use this, to write your Python and prepare your project, right? So there I've run it. And then I hit File, Save. Oh, it's actually Save and Checkpoint, which is fine. So there it's saved. Now I can edit this and work on it to my heart's content. And then whenever I'm ready to push it back up, I come back over to this GitHub Desktop. And so right now you can see that I've modified this file. It actually shows you a diff in here. And so this is my simple example. You would put a real message in here, but I'm just going to put the word simple example because it's fine. And then after that you click on the commit button, which is off the screen here, but it's the blue button down here. Commit is committing it local to your computer, so it's just on your computer still. And then what we need to do is we need to click on publish this branch. Since it's the first time, it'll actually publish the branch. But let's go make another change just to kind of show you next time. So this is my change. That's going to go badly. And by the way, you can also save it if you want. You can also save it as a different name. With Git and the command line, you have to be careful about it. But here, you can change the name of it even, it's fine. So if I wanted to commit this is a terrible commit. So this is badness. You would never really commit badness. And now you can just push it, right? So the first time you publish it, and then subsequent times you push it. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And also, if you wanted to change the name of it, you can. There's no reason to. You could make a copy of it, but there's just no reason to. So there, I fixed that. I went back into Git, and so fixed my bug. So I'll commit it and I'll push it. And the nice thing about this is I didn't type any commands from the command line. Oh, by the way, the first time you do it, you will get asked for your credentials. So you'll get asked for your Gitlab username and password. It'll just be a pop-up box, so you'll have to answer it. You'll probably also get asked for your Git configuration, like your name and your email. But I think it'll just all do it with drag and drop. So I don't know. It's good for people that don't want to use the command line, I guess is what I'd say. And I like working offline. I like clicking buttons, and I can see that I've got a branch up here now for David Fisher video. And so now if I go look at this file, this is what I can share with the people in my forum. So whenever I'm ready, I'll say, hey, check out my project. It's right here, and I'll give them this URL. All right, that's the tools that I use. It shows you how to use Anaconda, the Jupyter Notebooks within Anaconda local in your computer, and it shows you how to use Github Desktop to try to avoid having to learn and understand the command line. So Python Anywhere is great. Its bash tool works fine. The command line is totally doable, but this is an alternative for people that want to do it. All right, that's it. Bye.